Mubarak. It's still Ramadan. And yeah, maybe take heed of these opportunities to get to know the true bestower of bounties. And I'm really excited to be up here with all of you. Who said that traveling has to be physical, right? We are on this virtual retreat. It's really an inner journey of the self. And yep, that's that. So let's start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. O Lord, open the doors of wisdom and mercy and shower your blessings upon us. Amen. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. So the topic is, as it appears to be, existence of angels. What do I understand? And inshallah, I intend on sharing in some of my excitements with you, which I recently had while listening into Dr. Ali Murmur's NYU halakas on Mondays when he presented a verse from chapter Najm, and I was just like mind blown. And so the idea is that inshallah we're going to be on this journey together. So I don't know how many of you ever wondered about what angels are growing up, but I did when I was 5 years old. Yeah, it looks like a long time ago, but it, you know, in the memory is just like yesterday. I remember one day, a specific day, I was, as usual, bothering my older siblings. And I think that day they really couldn't stand me. So they took me to authority, AKA my mom. And my mom never scolded me or anything. And so the only thing she said, Fariha, be careful. There's an angel here on this left side who's writing down all your bad deeds. And I was like, okay. I went to bed a little perplexed that night. I was thinking, oh my God, who's there? You know, writing down things. Let me peek a hole. Maybe there's a little guy like Papa Smurf, maybe. Or maybe let me take out the little notebook and see, you know, what he wrote down. I can erase, and all those kind of imaginations that you can think about a 5-year-old can have were going around, playing around in my mind. And that was it with the wonderment of angels until fast forward to the future. I had this friend who used to listen to that song by Train. I'm not sure if some of you are familiar. Calling on you, angels. And so interesting song. The lyrics are always very interesting, how the artists sort of like express themselves out. And I remember telling myself that, okay, there must be angels. Yes, so there must be sentient beings out there, but great, but what does it have to do with me, really? Who cares, right? But that was it with my journey of angels. I never went to any Sunday school, no MSA. I'm just a regular Jane trying to make sense of her existence, really. Just like you all, we want to live a purposeful and meaningful life. So that's that. You know what? Before we begin, there is a friend I want to introduce you to all. So here's my friend. Meet. No, that's not Wilson. For God's sake, we're not in Castaway after all. This is Aqua. No, I'm sorry, Ryan and Mariam, your fish is Aqua, and Aqua will get offended. So let's see, bro, what you want to be called? Oh, Blue Ocean. Yeah, so that's Blue Ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Blue Ocean. So if I were to ask you to describe Blue Ocean, what would you say? You would say, well, it's circular, it's round, it's blue, it bounces, it occupies space, it has mass. And you'll keep going on with the description and so many things. And really, at the end of the day, who cares about description, really? You know what we should care about? We should care about this, and this, which is really our relationship with Blue Ocean. So as we proceed on this journey of trying to understand the concept of angels, I want all of you to get into this mindset of really, what is my interaction with the universe, or anything that I interact with. I know earlier we saw some figs, some olives, and some great examples were given about papaya and water. So yeah, I mean, think about these regular things that we interact with. Like, how are we interacting with it, right? Is it just like physical to physical, relationship? No, it's more of a underlying meaning or consciousness that the interaction is taking place. So with that, I think we're ready to start. Yeah, so let's begin. Alrighty. So I have a question, 2 questions actually for all of you. The first one is, did you use water today? And I'll give you 30 seconds. You can jot down how you used water and for what purpose. And the second question would be, what do you enjoy, right? So 30 seconds, you can feel free to put it on the chat. If you want to share out, afterwards, you can raise your hand and I'll give you 30 seconds. And your time starts now. So let me set up the timer to 30 seconds. So go ahead, feel free. Let me see what people are writing down here. Okay, great stuff. Alrighty, so it looks like the 30 seconds are up. Somehow time flies really fast on my end of the world. So, all right, some interesting comments. I see washing face. Aishinur said, washing face. Asfa says brushing teeth, laundry. Oh yes, that's true. Laundry keeps coming every day. Drinking during suhoor. Mariam says thank you. Essam says laundry. Joe says shower, cooking, frozen, for pain, looking at rain. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I was thinking about it. You can spend a whole afternoon just writing down about how we utilize water. Really, it's like a it's a commodity that we don't really think much of. And this is great. Thank you all for sharing in on your comments. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay, my video is acting funny, blurry with motion, etc. I guess turn it happens just okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I just turn on my camera, right? Virtual world, but if there's something, I'll be happy to turn it off. I'm just happy to do anywhere up here, but as long as it's not bothering anyone, because you should be more interested in the slides, right? The big slides. I'm just there to say hello to some of my friends. So basically, how did I use water? Just like you all, I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm super thirsty, so water. And then this fellow of mine, I was like, hey, I cannot take you anywhere. You're not presentable. So I washed it. I'm like, okay, so, lotion, you gotta be presentable in front of the camera. So here we are. And, the list can go on and on. As far as what do you enjoy doing? Yeah, so what are some of the things we enjoy? I know there's a lot we enjoy doing. Who likes eating? I do. What else do we like to do? If anyone wants to share out. So on the chat, feel free to put in, what are you cooking? Yeah, cooking is good. Taekwondo, baking, and art. Oh, that's my girl, Taekwondo, hooray, yeah. What belt are you in? Anyways, we can chat about it later. So yeah, this like enormous thing we enjoy, playing with kittens. Yeah, green belt, excellent. Enjoy chatting. Who said he can fix our broken fence? Yeah, we enjoy all kind of conversation, brother Fraz. You're right, random. We interact with people. You're on the train riding, and somebody's like, oh, it just starts a conversation that how long the ride is. Somehow we're stuck underground. So yeah, it's amazing. Pretty much we enjoy everything that's given to us. So we can say we enjoy existence, really, because existence is like the main thing. Hashtag existence, because without existence, and you and I, we won't be able to interact. We won't be able to have this conversation. We won't be able to even, experience anything. And as Sam is saying, enjoying going for a run after my iftar. Yeah, like, see, I told you, the list keeps going on and on. You can fill this whole little notebook up here, right? So sitting in the backyard and listening to the birds. Oh, that's the fun one. Asifa, rock on. I like that, really. Yeah, I'm sure in your part of the country, it's more easy to do. Like here, I have to like really filter in with all the police noises out there and then people shouting. But all right, so I'm glad that everybody is up, sharing in. Excellent. So if all is good, let's move on to the next slide. So if people can put in a thumbs up on the chat so I know that everybody is, proactive or listening in. Thumbs up. No. H. Beza, always the first one. You got it. Burkan, excellent. Aishinur, look at that. Abdul Rahman, thank you. And Abdullah Ali, thank you so much. Zainab, thank you. So we're all ready for us. Thank you very much. And good. So, all right. So the majority is saying, let's move on. Let's move on to, yeah. Okay, so now things are getting serious. So please put any distractions away, Blue Ocean. You can't be next to me anymore because this is where we need to focus in a little. Now, do you see meaning in the existence of things? It's actually a very serious question because it establishes the basis of everything, my worldview, how I look at things, how I perceive creation, how I perceive my experiences, what do I make out of my interactions with the water, running, doing laundry, or what else was there? Taekwondo, yay. Right, so this meaning side of things, we have to really focus in more on this. And so, the sub questions are, can the universe happen to be in existence by itself? As a result of a random act? Is the atom coming into existence by itself? So we're going to explore these questions, but with the help of an analogy. It's a very simple analogy, and that pretty much helps me sort of understand the things better. So I'm sure we all went to some kind of schooling, right? So let's say on a Monday morning, you go to your classroom and your teacher has seatings in rows, all right? You walk in, you're like, oh man, we're having an exam, all right? And the next day on Tuesday morning, you walk into the classroom and the teacher has the seating in circular mode. So you're like, uh-oh, we're having roundtable discussion. It means we're gonna be talking to each other. And so in between Monday and Tuesday morning, what happened with the furniture? Do you think the furniture just happened to be shifted haphazardly, randomly, or perhaps a ghost came in? Regardless, right? There must be a conscious actor who shifted the furniture. And in this case, the teacher, you're like, yeah, my teacher sort of shifted things up. So same thing with us. Similarly, in the universe, everything around us, it's a deliberate act or set up by a conscious will. And so like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, brand new day. How come the sky that's sitting nice up there, how come it's not falling on your face? How come your eyeballs are not popping out? Like, who's maintaining all this setup, right? So there must be a conscious will behind this setup that we find ourselves in. And we can go on and on with really concluding that there must be a conscious will behind the existence of anything that I experience, because I cannot explain it otherwise. So this morning, in my side of the world, I'm in the East Coast, to be specific, New York City. It was raining, and I'm like, wow, where's this rain coming from? Really? It must definitely be sent by someone. And definitely what we see is we see the order here. We see, okay, this precipitation, water vapors go up, the clouds get dark and heavy, and rain comes down. But who is arranging this amazing order that I find myself in, something to think about. And so with this, let me just check in if everybody's doing great. Let me see, there's a comment here, but we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide is, yes, I conclude that there must be a conscious will behind existence, absolute in its nature. So by now, we should all feel comfortable with concluding that there must be a conscious will behind existence in general, right? So this conscious will is not of the nature of this universe, meaning that it's not physically present in its essence. Here I am in a created realm, and what I conclude to be absolute, that's an absolute realm. And so, oh, wow. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to really stop my video here because, yeah, much better. Okay, so there must be a purpose to my existence. So going back to that classroom analogy, when the teacher puts the seating in groups, roundtable discussion, then you know that you'll be graded on your, peer-to-peer collaborative skills, and you'll be graded differently. And so when you walk into the classroom and the seating are in rows, then you know that you will be graded individually, with an exam. So there's always a purpose to everything that we experience here and encounter. So really, I like to say that there's no such thing as free lunch. Really, nothing is free here anyways. And it makes me laugh every time when I think about this. I remember having this conversation with a friend just recently, and we were talking about how much we grew in the past 10 years, how we learned from our experiences. And I remember I was 21 years old, and I sort of learned the hard way. But, you're fresh out of college, you're excited. Let me jump into this, job market, professional world. And I was like, yeah, bring it on, free travel, free whatever, hotel stay, free da-da-da. But there's no such thing as free any. There's action going on because my time and effort is put into it. So similarly, when we look into our experiences here, like the interaction with the universe we have, there's some kind of transaction. My hands get dirty. Hey, guess what? I'm going to clean it with water. Or let's say it's a very simple one. I'm given thirst and I'm going to quench it with water. But think about it. Every morning I wake up, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, and then I eat food. Is that it? I mean, seriously, there must be a bigger purpose to our existence. I mean, it can't be just free. Yeah, I mean, we're being treated by a generous host, but just like in the analogy of the classroom and the teacher setting things up, there's a bigger purpose behind everything that we experience. So I cannot just be every morning, waking up with hunger or thirst or the need to learn, just like aimlessly. There must be a point and aim, a purpose to my existence. And so the biggest question then becomes, how are things coming into existence? Really, if we think about it deeply, I cannot explain the existence of anything. Even in the morning, we're given a brand new day. How do I explain the existence? Again, thirst is given. Again, hunger is given. Like, what is it? What's up? Really, what's going on here in this type of existence? And yeah, so pretty much the whole point before jumping into the subject is really seeing that my existence must have a meaning to it, right? So when I conclude that the universe must have a conscious will, and that conscious will is not of the nature of this universe, then definitely there must be a bigger purpose to what I experience here. All right, let's see. So let's move on with, existence is huge. Existence is really, let's think about it. Another question for you all to ponder over. I mean, we always think about this, but I don't know. We really need to reflect deeply into it. And I remember earlier this morning, some of our friends did mention that everything in creation is speaking to us. And so I really need to reflect a little more on my interactions, and that's really what's going on here. So we cannot neglect our existence, right? So just like you don't neglect doing your assignment to pass your next class, so same thing, we shouldn't neglect everything that we're given, any kind of feelings or emotions. It's a message, it needs to be read. And so what do you need? I need, yeah, what do you need? I mean, again, the same thing. We need what? There's a lot of things that we need. We need water. Let me see, people didn't even put anything else on the chat. Comment, please, Taylor. Okay. Yeah, what do we need besides everything that's up there posted? If there's something that's not posted up there, feel free to put it on that chat. I would love to hear your comments. You need to sleep. Air, yeah, air, exactly. And endless joy with friends. You know what, Mohammed said, yeah, that's the favorite one. And Aishinur, companionship, friendship. Yep, you'll have to teach me more on that one because I'm also personally reflecting on that. So yeah, like we need all of this in our lives, and it's really endless. Gold, really? Brother Berkhan needs gold and lots of it. Okay, well, that's it. I mean, everybody has their needs. Professional help. Yeah, and the list can keep going on and on. That's true, though. It can keep going on and on. And so basics things that we need, again, water, air, sunlight, health, healing, smoothie, fries and burgers. Smoothie, yeah, I mean, we're always in need of something. We're so needy beings, and there's no denying in how much needy we are. So Mariam is saying social life. Yeah, true. It's a good one, actually. I have some reflections on that right now, but I see Joe M, you had your hand up. And Aishin was saying a long time. Yeah, I mean, we're like very diverse beings, definitely some solo time or friendship, and you just, that's how the human being is, right? You don't take your friends with you when you're sitting down for an exam or something. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, yeah, we need all of these great things. We're really consumers at the end of the day in this mighty universe. And there's so many things we consume, and there must be a purpose to it. So going back to, I like to take just simple examples. So water, so I'm thirsty, all right? I have this need. I need my thirst to be quenched. And so this is a need, a genuine need. And so water is available to me, and okay, I drink it. So in between this interaction, gee, I wonder what satisfies this need of my thirst, because I'm made in a way where I'm like needy every moment. And so I really ponder over the water. Does water know me? Not really. Or does the fig know me, if I'm hungry? Or the olives? No, they don't know me. They are created. They are brought into existence by a conscious will, not of the nature of this universe. They are being sustained just like I am. So how can they satisfy me? So it's interesting, just if we ponder over what satisfies my need, really, or in other words, how is this interaction taking place between me and the universe? How do I explain the existence? There must be really a conscious will behind the existence of everything. So with this, I think we are ready to move on to the next slide. Alrighty, so yeah, so this is the worst. I totally had my aha moment with this, so let's look into this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَكَمْ مِنْ مَلِكٍ فِي السَّمَوَاتِ لَا تُغْنِي شَفَاعَتُهُمْ شَيْئًا إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ أَنْ يَأْذَنَ اللَّهُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَرْضَى. So, translation, there are many angels in the heavens whose intercession does not avail at all, except after God has given permission to whom he pleases and chooses. This is from Quran chapter 53, verse number 26, and that's the famous chapter in Najm. Now, what is our area of interest right now, ladies and gentlemen? Angels. Keyword angels, hashtag angels. So what are angels really? How can I understand angels? And so a very simple analogy is, I'm sorry you guys can't see me anymore, but what I have in my hand right now, it's a book. I'm actually having a book in my hand. So we're gonna use a very simple analogy. And so when you're reading a book, you're like, wow, this is interesting, right? When you're reading it, you're just like totally immersed into it. It's conveying a meaning, a message. But then you're like, wait a minute, pause, pause, pause. This is a book. What am I communicating with? It's paper and ink and stuff. But there's definitely meaning that is being imparted onto me. There's some kind of transformation of what the author has to say to my consciousness. It's like some message carriers are transporting that meaning to me. So what are angels? Angels really are message carriers, transformers, something that's transmitting a meaning or a message to all of us. So yeah, so let's stick with this for now with angels. And then there are many angels. Okay, so something that's carrying meaning. Otherwise, I cannot explain how my thoughts are coming to me, or the feelings and emotion, how are they coming into existence? They're given existence, and there must be a one that's bringing them into existence. But how do I explain that? How is the whole transaction or interaction taking place? You know, that's what we are really exploring here. And so in the heavens, so samawat. So usually samawati, well, earth usually comes in together. I'm not gonna go really deep into all this. But generally how I understand it is really creation in general, what I interact with, the universe, all right? So for the sake of our topic on angels, we'll just stick with that. So there are a lot of angels here in creation in the universe. That's exciting, all right, this far. Then whose intercession does not avail at all except after God has given permission to whom he pleases and chooses. So intercession, ooh, what is intercession? So something is interceding on behalf of something. That sounds exciting. So intercession as in a middle tier, a middleman, a middle, like a channel, a medium. So yeah, so intercession, let's take up intercession as a medium. That is, yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm also trying to let you, okay. I was looking into the comments as well to see if anyone has anything to say, but intercession really then becomes a medium and a channel. And so going back to that water example, yeah, really, how are things being transformed into the created form? So I have this need. I'm thirsty. I'm given thirst, and I really need mercy because I'm really thirsty. And so it seems that there's something at play where water doesn't know me, but it's acting or it's interceding on behalf of a one who knows me. So water by itself cannot act on its own, but it's acting on behalf of something or someone. And then so this isn't, and then I get satiated, but that's good news because it seems as if there's a consciousness going on between me and the universe. So there's like a consciousness to consciousness relationship with the water. So water then is just not like water, but there is something beyond this water that we need to interact with, or that's asking us to interact with it. And so when I concluded that the source of my existence, absolute by nature, must be a one, or the conscious will behind the existence of everything. And so if that's in the absolute realm and I'm in a created realm, then how is this whole transformation actually taking place, right? It looks like, oh, there's like a invisible pen or like a paintbrush that is being painted upon. But it's okay, like whatever you want to think about it for now, it's okay. So, and also it talks about only after God has given permission to whom he pleases and chooses. So the permission part is really, even so for the water to quench my thirst, it needs someone's authorization. It's just not happening on its own. It's coming into existence, like with all of us, with the whole universe together right now. We're being brought into existence. So let's see what the next slide has to say. So you know what? If whatever was presented thus far, I know I don't talk much. I'm not a PhD, so really, whatever I understand, I'm just sharing out the way I understand it. So, but up until now, at least I want everyone to take away is that how is this transformation from happening? I'm in the created world, but like something is being transformed from absolute realm into this created world, because I cannot otherwise explain how my needs are satisfied here. There's no way I can explain it with the created things itself. Even the apple or the banana or the papaya I eat, it vanishes. Like I'm also decaying. We all are decaying at the end of the day, but there seems to be a conscious will behind the creation of everything that's interacting with us and bringing everything into existence. So yeah, so like really everybody must be wondering about how about the creator who has nothing to do with this created world, but qualities are manifested here. How is that taking place, right? Because I don't see the, like creator like in a physical form. No, but when I conclude that there must be a conscious will behind existence of everything. And so I question then how is the whole transformation taking place? Because clearly there's a lot of qualities that we see manifested in the universe. When you see a little newborn, there's nourishment, the quality of nourishment being provided, and then you experience all these feelings of like mercy, compassion, and I mean we just name these, but like that feeling that's imparted onto you, like how do you explain the existence of that? And so up until now, I mean, if we can just wrap our head around really this transformation part, like angels are message carriers, transformers, executors, they're executing the qualities that I see manifested here. So we should be good to go, because what's coming up next is some practical example to understand how the transformation is taking place. So yeah, so we're just going to take some practical example. Let's begin with example 1. So if you look at this cow, it's very cute, really think about it, but the cow itself is innocent. It's being brought into existence, it's created. And if I do not attribute the cow, the existence of the cow, to its source of existence, then it's just an orphan out there. Yeah, it's adorable little animal. So going back to that example of nourishment, the quality of nourishment that we see when a newborn comes in the animal kingdom or the human kingdom, there is this bounty of milk that's being brought into existence. How do we explain that? How is milk produced? Can the cow be the source of existence of the milk? No, it's just being brought into existence. Again, thinking more about existence, how can I explain the existence of anything here within the whole context of the universe is something to really ponder more over. But with the analogy that we presented earlier, it should make the case clear. And so when we see even the quality of milk production, it's quality, right? Like that farmer there, he's milking the cow, and we see clearly there's a quality of milk production, and all of that needs to be created, and it's amazing then. Okay, so this doesn't make sense much, but let's look into the second example, all right? Inshallah, the hope is that at least something should be imparted from one of these examples. Example 2. how do I understand this transformation of absolute being into created form? Yeah, like that's what we're trying to understand with this whole angels concept, the message carriers, the transformers. So, when, let's say, like right now I'm speaking to you all, so I have something in my mind and I'm trying to convey it. So you're listening in. There's some kind of sound waves and Wi-Fi. I don't know how all of this is coming into existence, but it is, communication is being brought into existence, it's being broadcasted. And so you're able to comprehend something. Like, how do you explain this comprehension? Or how is this meaning being transferred? Because I'm not the source of existence of the meaning, or I'm not the source of existence of any kind of knowledge. Here I am, I'm just made to speak. So nothing of my essence or the physical part is included in any of what you understand. So similarly, the source for existence, the creator of the universe, is not of the nature of this universe. And definitely we see his work, his manifest qualities, and nothing of its essence is experienced here. And so, yeah, let's take another example, like music, for example. So when a musician is playing something, I know my friend Umar is here and he loves the flute. So I'm gonna play a little something, a little piece. So you are more than welcome to listen in. So definitely there was, when I'm looking for applause, but there was some kind of music. I just blew. I mean, you guys can't see that, but you can imagine some air into the flute, and there was some kind of sound that traveled through sound waves and then reached your ears and reached my ears as well. But nothing of me, nothing of my being uh, has been transformed into it, right? So thank you, Khala from Uber. You're welcome, Uber, anytime. So nothing from within that melody that was heard. So similarly, we hear all kinds of sounds around us, even the air is blowing, or when you bite an apple, right? How do you explain the sound? How is this happening? There's definitely some kind of consciousness at play, and you're conscious of it. You're like, okay, what is this sound? And so the actor of the universe is presenting itself to us through all of this. Even when rain is being sent down, you have like, like the rain droplets have a nice melody as well. And yeah, so nothing of the conscious will behind the existence of this universe gets mixed up with this with creation here, because I'm in the created world, you and I are in the created world, and the absolute is of the other realm. So I just want to make sure everybody's up, because that melody, it's a French nursery rhyme. Fais dodo, hola petit frère. So hopefully your kids went to sleep with that, but I hope you all you're all up. Okay, so let's take another example, if inshallah, to make the case a little better, clearer. So we have, yes, the carpenter. I don't know how many of you watched Bob the Builder growing up, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe some younger ones did. I wasn't young. I watched it with my nephew, so it was a good show. So anyhow, but the quality of the carpenter is being manifested in his art. So you must be having some kind of furniture at home. So look into the table or the chair you're sitting on, or anything that you have, like how it's perfectly designed. Maybe the table is square, standing on four legs. Even like how is that happening? How is the desk even standing like that? Or how are you even sitting down where you are? So when a carpenter sort of make furniture, he has some kinds of knowledge and plan which he manifests in the table. Similarly, the creator of the universe brings everything into existence with absolute knowledge and power. So we see variations of things here. Even the flowers, I had a couple of teenagers the other day who shared in different names of flowers, and I had to Google them up, and I'm like, wow, look at that. Yeah, we're Googling now, yeah, because we're in the virtual world. So I'm like, wow, look at all the different shapes, colors. Like, how do I explain all of that? But there must be the designer, whoever's designing it must have some sort of um, an absolute knowledge to be bringing it into existence or manifesting it. But the designer itself is not in the painting. And at the same time, I cannot separate the designer or the carpenter from the furniture. That would be wrong. So same thing, I cannot separate the manifested qualities in the universe from its source of existence, because how do I explain existence otherwise? So I thought this furniture making business helps me a little bit understand the case better. Okay, let's see, how much are we doing on time? Okay. Yeah, so yeah, these were some of the examples to understand angels. And now we can move on to the conclusion. And it has, yeah, 3 slides. But one thing that I want everyone to walk out today with, just walk away with the following. That first of all, creator, what I conclude to be the source of my existence, or the absolute source of existence. Creator is not of the nature of this universe. So how is this transformation happening? How can I explain its existence, right? So that's was a little bit the layout of what we wanted to present here. And so 3 bullet points. Quranic understanding of angels is everything glorifies God and is represented by angels. And I think it's being depicted in a lot of verses, but the one that came to me was, yeah, that one that's mentioned up there. But the whole point is everything in creation is represented by angels and it's glorifying God. So like really all the beauty you see, the different flowers, the colors, or different melody you hear, you know, you feel joy. These are qualities. I mean, we name these qualities, but these qualities, right? Even we say mercy, compassion, love, beauty. It goes on and on and on. But we just have to make sure that what is presenting to me these qualities, because if I just attach myself to blue ocean or just the flute itself, then sorry, we're all decaying. But I need to go beyond the skin or the physical aspect of things, the meaning side of things. So something is being communicated to me, and so that's the one I need to be in the presence of. And so the second bullet point is, this means that every single thing is willed by God to exist and is executed by angels, that is, transmitters, transformers of absolute qualities of creator into a limited form of existence within this universe. Yeah, so we are in this created realm and absolute, that's why we conclude absolute, but things are being transformed for us here. Our needs are met, alhamdulillah, mashallah, in a very generous and beautiful way. So how is that happening? There are conscious beings that we are interacting with every time that we interact with the universe. So I see a question by Asim. Let me just hold on to that question. Let me just move to my 3rd bullet point, and then we can then all work it out together. Inshallah. So every created has all the manifestations of God's names, that creator's qualities. In other words, the qualities of matter is represented by angels. Yep, that's it. Eating. So you may see just when you eat an olive, you may experience compassion, mercy, and that's whatever feeling are imparted onto you, that's represented by angel. But at the end of the day, what is satisfying your need? It's really the creator of that olive that's satisfying your need, and you're interacting with the conscious or the angelic aspect of the olive in order to reach the source of your existence. And well, let's see. So that's that. I know we have like two more slides, and then let's see what does Asim ask here. He's saying, question, in transformation, as was mentioned, what is being transformed and to what? Yeah, good question. What is being transformed? So what is being transformed is really the quality that I'm experiencing. So this subtle, the feeling or the emotion or experience that I'm having, that is being transformed. And to what? What is being transformed, and it's being, okay. And to what? Can you elaborate a little more, Asim? What do you mean by that?
Sure, I'm just trying to understand what the transformation is. So, for example, you were explaining, let's take the example of milk. So, how do I experience that transformation? What is going on in the, so I look at milk and you said that the cow needs to be given existence, the milk needs to be given existence, the production of that milk from through the cow needs to happen also. So all that needs to be given existence. But so where are the angels in that example, and what is going on? How would I interact with the angels? How do I read the angels there? And I think you are going with the qualities, right? So whoever is giving existence, so perhaps the qualities of whoever gives existence is being manifested or reflected in the thing itself, and that's like a meaning that is coming from the source, which is you conclude must be an absolute source, because we cannot see how things are given existence the way they are. So from the one who is giving existence, an absolute source, so the qualities that we see is that the transformation from the qualities of the absolute source to the thing that I am interacting with. If you
exactly, thank you. Very valid question. So what exactly am I interacting with, and what is being transformed? Yeah, that's a very good question. So what is being transformed is really the qualities that I'm interacting with. So I really need really like a nourishment, for example. So satiated, I feel like this feeling of joy, contentment that I have. I'm being satisfied, but knowing that the milk or the water in and of itself, they do not know me, but they're brought into existence by a one that is the one giving me my needs and is the one satisfying me. So these qualities, it's as if, a painting analogy where the painter is painting something on the canvas, and whatever is it that I'm experiencing is brought into existence. And so my needs and what satisfies my needs is it's transforming the quality into created form. So let's say, for example, let's take medicine. So Bill is ill, and then he needs medicine for healing. So medicine becomes the quality of healing. Medicine can also can be taken as being transformed as mercy, because Bill will take it, and then he'll get healing from it. So the transformation part is really the absolute qualities are being manifested in created form. And this is what I experience. The transforming is within me, what I'm experiencing. So hopefully that answers your question, Shola. Okay, so I'm having a nod of head. Okay, wonderful. That's a good question. And let's see what I have. Yeah, okay, so my next slide is actually going to make a little more sense, inshallah, with everything that was presented. It may seem theoretical and like, wait, what are you talking about, really? So then the question is, how does this communication business work from my side with the source of my existence? Like, I think it goes back to your question. The question that you asked, how does this communication business work from my side? And so the practical example that we gave earlier with water you know, if you're cleaning yourself with water, you experience certain feelings and senses, right? You're dirty, you're washing your hand, you're like, oh, cool, you know, you experience the quality of cleansing. And after being cleaned, there's like comfort, there's this feeling of uh, cooling as well. And then you know that water itself is transient, but it's bringing you news from an absolute source of existence. So then you conclude that my maker or the source of my existence must be the one that's communicating with me through the water. So yeah, the point is, again, going back to your point, so it's really the source of my existence that's communicating with me through the water when I experience its cooling effect, comfort, and cleansing, and we can name all the qualities into it. And so these qualities executed or transferred by angels make me realize how I'm well treated, or what we refer to as mercy, right? So you're like, oh yes, I have a generous host who's taking care of me, uh, bringing me into existence every step of the way. And I have not only physical desires, but my needs extend beyond this physical realm. So I'm in need of eternal comfort. I'm in need of eternal mercy. I'm in need of eternal happiness. I'm in need to experience eternal pleasure, because I know that my lifespan here is short. I'm here today. I don't know if I'll be here given existence tomorrow. So then um, with this interaction of angels, or the angelic side of creation, which really are the manifested qualities of the source of my existence, if I'm living with this awareness, then, you know, I'm like, hey, I belong to an absolute source, and let's buckle down and enjoy the ride while doing your homework, inshallah. So yeah, this was it pretty much. And so I had just one more slide, just like as a homework for all of us to look into how we can understand the speech of the creator of the universe in a more particular and universal way as well. So really, uh, how can we better make sense of the speech of my maker as a personal speech, speaking to me, my human side, and my human qualities. And so there's this chapter Qadr, Destiny, from Quran chapter 97. I'm not going to go into all the details. I'll just go into verse number 4, but I'll just briefly, just for a background, just go over it quickly. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatul qadr. Indeed, we sent the Quran down during the night of decree. Wa ma adraka ma laylatul qadr. And what can make you know what is this night of decree? Laylatul qadr khairun min alfi shahr. The night of decree is better than 1,000 months. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. The angels and the spirit descends therein by permission of their Lord for every matter. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Peace it is until the emergence of dawn. So briefly, we sent down the Quran. The Quran is, you know, I don't want to use the typical word. People say, yeah, it's guidance. It's my speakers speaking to me. Yeah, I mean, so I'm more interested in the meaning side of things. So like here I am, all of us are given existence, but like, how can I really make sense of this existence? You know, it cannot be just it. There must be something more to it. So we sent down the Quran. To me means like a meaning that goes beyond the physicality of this universe, that helps me understand my position here. What am I as a human being? Who am I really? And what is the source of my existence? So really then during the night of decree, so it doesn't matter, night of decree, usually night could be like a time of turmoil. You're like, oh man, I have so many questions about like really what am I doing here? Or sometimes we are caught up in different events, situations in our life. Then you're like, oh, is that it? You know, like we worry, you know, for things, and then like really for just like things that are just going to stay here in this universe. There's a bigger purpose to our existence. And so when you question that, so then some kind of meaning imparts on you, and then what can make you know what this night of decree is. So it's better than 1,000 months, as in I don't need to be given 100 years here to realize what my position is. Just one moment of recognition, one moment of existence, realizing who am I and who the source of my existence is enough for me to connect to the source of my existence, or to really feel satisfied in my existence, that this is it. I surrender. I believe absolute one. The one am I worried about? The one who brought me into existence is the one taking care of me. And so I put all my trust into him. So these 3 verses, a little background. I know I roughly really went over it, but that's not our area of interest right now. Like, the area of interest right now is verse 4. The angels and the spirit descend therein by permission of their Lord for every matter. So like angels and the spirit descend, as in that they're conscious beings in terms of whatever I interact with, even the meaning, any meaning that we get from anything, our thoughts, emotions, feelings, they are brought into existence. And we're conscious beings, and so you interact with consciousness. And so it's really also when you're in darkness, something doesn't make sense, but then suddenly, you have this aha moment, a light bulb goes on, you're like, yeah, it makes sense. It's everything is nothing is happening haphazardly in this universe. I'm not a result of a random act. I'm being brought into existence by a conscious and merciful, generous host who knows exactly each and every inch of my needs and whatever's going on with me. So I cannot be left here to my own devices. So the angelic side is really when the meaning side of my existence is imparted onto me, that connects me to the source of my existence. And all of that is done by the permission of their Lord, as in nothing is acting on its own in this universe. So everything is being authorized or being brought into existence by the one that makes me. So the conscious will that's behind this whole setup. And finally, Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Peace it is until the emergence of dawn. So every end of a journey or a moment is the start of a new beginning. And so, and that's what the human journey is about. We experience different events, and the whole purpose of it is to really fulfill the purpose of my existence, is to make me realize that what am I in my human nature and what the source of my existence is. And so when I find the source of my existence, when I connect my existence to an absolute source, then nothing bothers me anymore. It's just like everything becomes so peaceful in terms of like there's this tranquility, no agitation in my existence. Like the state of being is alhamdulillah. Like even we say, how you doing? How's it going? Alhamdulillah. Like what does it mean? Well, it's just like, what is your state of being? My state of being, all praise is to the one who's bringing us into existence, and I'm happy for it. I belong to this absolute source, and that's it. Until the emergence of dawn, it means really light upon light. When things start making sense, when one keeps progressing in their human journey, go beyond the physical sight, and is able to connect with the source of their existence, then it's really light upon light, and a really tranquil content state to be in. And let's see. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, this was it. Thank you all for listening and watching. Really, thank you for being present here. Appreciate it. So if really you have any questions or comments, I'll be happy to hear them. Thank you.
Thank you, Fariha, for that wonderful presentation. So we have about half an hour left for questions and inquiries and comments. So if you'd like to say something, just click the raise hand button and we can unmute you, inshallah. I think that's a raised hand by H. Beza. So I'm going to unmute you right now.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the great presentation. That was very helpful, and taking us on this journey with angels. I guess while giving others time to think as well, I wanted to kind of share something that I was thinking about towards the end of the presentation when you shared the verses on chapter Qadr. So with the verse, the first verse where it had said, yeah, indeed, we sent the Quran down during the night of decree. And I had been thinking about this, you know, the sending down, anzala, and anzala being also, you know, being sent down in a form, in a way or in a form that I am able to interact with it, that I'm able to understand it within the limitations of my own createdness. And so, kind of tying this with the entirety of the topic that you've been discussing about angels, angels being, I guess, you know, things being given a limited form, as coming from an infinite source, and so that I can interact with it, experience it, and essentially acknowledge its infinite source, the source of its existence. So I don't know, it was kind of something, it was a fresh new perspective for me where I was thinking about even the coming down of it, the coming down of guidance itself is in a way, in a form of an angel for me, both in the way that it comes to me and in the way that I interact with it. So that would be just one reflection. Thank you.
Thank you, Hatice Beza, for your beautiful comment. Yeah, you're right. It's amazing, actually, when even, let's say, there's a student who's struggling in understanding some kind of equation in physics or something. You're like, oh man, I don't like this. It doesn't make sense. But let's say if then there's a nice tutor who comes along and then present the case, and then you're like, oh wow, this is easy stuff. Like, why didn't I, think of it, before? So it's like, you're right. Like this, when meaning gets imparted, then everything makes more sense. And so, like every moment, actually, we're experiencing over the night of decree or qadr, really. And I had somebody, I was having a talk with a friend. I don't want to get into details of it, but she was saying, yeah, she still, I don't know. She said what qadr is, really. I still don't get it. Inshallah, one day. But I was telling her, no, it's right now, it's existence, qadr. I mean, what we are experiencing existence, but what do I make out of it? So it's as if, how we say, oh, the universe is a book. It's a life book, right? The book of the universe, and the creator of the universe is presenting something, writing something. Yes, that's great. But I am the one that's on the receiving end. I'm reading it and I'm interpreting it. I'm the one that needs to be even making, I don't want to say my qadr, but like how I view things. Like initially we said, it's all about our worldview or our how we perceive things. So then I'm also writing in a way my ode, or like a poem, if you will. And so it's really, it's like meaning, guidance. If something makes sense, then it's exciting. So, and we cannot just be left like this. So if somebody has questions, then answers must be there. Otherwise, existence would just be meaningless. And thank you for your comment. So there are some, Faraz is saying, angels / meaning prostrates, or it is a sworn enemy that deceives and hurts and is accursed for me. I think, okay, yeah. what the meaning side of things. Brother Faraz, do you want to elaborate further on your comment a little bit more so we can get more insight into it? Thank you. If you want to.
Brother Faraz, if you would like to speak, just make some sort of yes/no symbol so I can unmute you. Okay, great. I'm unmuting you.
Hello. Yes. Sorry, I'm struggling with the technology here. Thank you, Fariha, so much. Just to, it's wonderful what you said. Just I reminded me of we're talking about the angels and their descension, their descending, and like you said, and people here understand that a choice is involved in my part, what I will see reality. So you give us examples of when I see something, and it is just a thing in the world, the created world, which is limited, passing, and versus when I start to think about its meaning and purpose and its relationship with me. So I have to make that choice how I'm going to see it. And I just wanted to, I guess, also then highlight that meaning is actually we are interacting with, and so there is something real at stake. If it was only a physical world, and if I was just a physical being and I was just interacting with physical entities, it wouldn't there wouldn't be much at stake. But because there is meaning, and that meaning is such that I want it to last, I want it for it to be really meaningful, it must not just simply appear and then attract me and become loved to me and then abandon me. And so I was just reminded of the story of Adam and Eve and Satan's, present, the way it's presented in the Quran, as being the angel that did not prostrate. And so it's interesting to think about the world as full of meanings, that if I actually interact with those meanings, I become aware of these two choices. I leave this place of indifference, and I can, I guess, leave the place of indifference and numbness and, don't care one way or another sort of place, and see that it's actually, I'm confronted with things that I truly love, and they truly, because they're so beloved, they truly either must be meaningful or they are really hurtful. They're really painful. And I think that is interesting, that when Shaitan is defined really in the Revelation as Rajim, accursed, something that I don't want near me. I want to go away. And that speaks to the consciousness, a human consciousness that is really conscious of the meanings and how beloved they are to the human heart, the soul, and to me. And so that when they don't fulfill for me the promise that they give me, if they were to turn out to be simply deceptions and false promises, it really scars my soul. It really leaves me despaired. How much life, for example, of the the living beings around me, the ones I love, I so love them. I so loved life for them. And if their life was simply something that said, here, want me, love me, and now I'm going to leave them, that it's so devastating, and so there's that aspect of, and that's so that same life becomes such a witness against me, such an accursed like thing to me. So why it's really a source of torture for me, or a means of torture for me. So it's interesting that the angels are the meaning, and whether that meaning will prostrate to me or whether that meaning will hurt me and deceive me is something uh, which is a choice for me to make. Whether I would find that connection with the source, which would then make those angels descend as peace upon me or bring peace to me, or they would the same meaning would and my inbuilt appreciation for it will become a source of unbearable torture and pain and absurdity for me. Um, so yeah, that I just wanted to really reflect on that. Your presentation made me reflect that. So thank you.
Alhamdulillah, brother Faraz. Thank you for sharing your comment. It actually reminded me of how definitely when we interact with anything, there's some kind of meaning that is imparted onto us. And so we shouldn't stay also with the meaning. We need to go beyond the meaning in order to be fully satisfied in our existence. So for example, if let's say I get, nobody sends letters now. I mean, everything is via email. So we've lost the whole sense of how it used to be to receive like letter mailed back in the days. But let's say you get a gift, a parcel from someone. And so you get excited. You're like, yeah, there's a meaning coming. Oh, the person loves me, yeah, they cares for me and everything. You take out all the stuff. You're like, ooh, hey, get all excited. But there's a meaning going on, like things are being transformed into the creative side of things, like the meaning. I'm interacting with the meaning, but then I need to question the sender of whatever is being that I'm presented with, because otherwise it's just like meaning. Just it's a meaningful universe and that's it. No, there must be a conscious will that's making me experience this. It's a deliberate setup. It's a what do you say? It's someone is addressing me personally, and I need to acknowledge that. I need to thank that one, and that's the one I need to be in a relationship with. So definitely going also beyond the meaning. And what I mean going beyond the meaning is like also interacting with the meaning for its sake, as in, oh wow, yeah, this is great. I'm feeling that, excited, joy. And then you thank the maker of, I don't know, brownies for employing this person to bring brownies to you. So otherwise, meaning, I can get so many meanings, but it can just stay within the universe or it can become meaningless. And that's where we get stuck within this universe if I don't go beyond beyond like what I experience here. If I I will definitely need to open up in terms of like, why are things so meaningful and who's presenting this to me, who's presenting me this meaning. And then inshallah, we can live a more purposeful life. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to make a comment or raise a question? Okay, Mohammed Saeed, let me unmute you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, for your presentation, Fariha, and for the comments as well. When you were sharing one of your example, the milk, something and as an example came to my mind based on the verse, or my understanding of the verse together. Milk I can interact with milk for different reasons, or different people can interact with the milk for different reasons. Maybe just for drinking milk because it is because of pleasure, or because of nourishment, the vitamins and stuff. In any case, there is an opportunity available for me to ask, if I am interacting with the milk for nourishment, how come this is nourishing me? Intercession, I find it very useful word, that I don't have to really change the way I interact with the milk. Whatever I like about milk, I can just use that, whatever it is, let's say nourishment, and ask, how come this is nourishing me? How come this has nourishment? And so if it is like accidental, it means there is no intercession. It is just there, and I'm just drinking, and it is my interaction with it actually brings, as it was said, brings not pleasure, but just tasting pleasure and then going away, and then gives me pain because it leaves me. But if I see that a nourishment, or whatever the reason for me to interact with milk is, cannot be really happening haphazardly, accidentally. It must be that nourishment aspect of the milk has to be provided. That's how the milk becomes nourishing. And so that aspect of milk becomes an intercessing for me to see the provider, and connects me to the endless source of provision. For another person, it might be a different reason, and he still has the same opportunity to interact with the milk, and then come to the same conclusion, or reach the same endless source of provision. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad Said, for your comment. That's true. And it's really the consciousness and awareness that comes into play, our existence as well. Otherwise, every passing pleasure that I get, if it's not connected with the source of its existence, just going to bring me pain, meaninglessness, and but and also then we can also take it as a jumping board in terms of questioning, so what satisfies me here actually? So if the milk is not the source of the satisfaction, neither is the cow the source of satisfaction that I desire, because my human side really desire eternal satisfaction in everything. So what can it be? And so just like Hatice Beza was saying, then really guidance or like meaning, then the speech of my maker then speaks to me in terms of, hey, no, don't be fooled, Fariha, don't get fooled just by interacting with the universe or attaching yourself with whatever interactions you're having here, because they're not the source of your satisfaction. They're transient, just like you are. You're passing. So are they passing? They shall pass too. So look into the meaning. What do these meaning point to? So like maybe the meaningful aspect of things in terms of, what do they point to? That should bring you comfort and peace. So that's the one that you need to be having a relationship with. Do respect creation, say thank you. But at the end of the day, I'm the source of existence of everything that you're experiencing. So just acknowledge my authority over whatever that you're experiencing. I mean, I don't want to use authority over, but what I mean is that I'm the one that's the, you know, source of existence of everything. I'm the all beauteous one. I'm the all loving one. And once you find the absolute beloved, then what else do you want? Okay, let's see if anyone else has anything else to say. Meaning, for us, is saying meaning that blesses its source is an angel for me. Yeah, the meaning. Yeah, the meaningful aspect of things, which points to its maker. Yeah, it becomes. It's. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Let's see if there's anything else. Go ahead, Brother Burkhan. I see your hand up.
Assalamu alaikum. So, related to what Faraz just said, I guess, so when we look at the things that we enjoy, whether we call them as meaning or something else, friendship, for instance. So does friendship make me happy or satisfied? I guess it does until I realize that my beloved friend, Yusuf, he's gossiping behind me and telling, you know, terrible things about me to others. Or does, you know, the love satisfies me? It does until I realize the person I love doesn't love me back, or the person I think I love, that I don't enjoy his or her presence anymore. So I guess, like, when we look at the things, the face of the things, as they look at these life that I experience, whether they are like they look nice or not, whether they are sweet or not, if I get lost with the face that I indirectly interact with, even they start being sweet at the beginning, like love, friendship, I experience this next moment, I experience that they lead me torture, they lead me pain. So this connection between the enjoyment, sweetness, love, and pain that undeniably we always constantly experience, it tells us something that yes, you can talk you can talk about meaning, you can talk about love, you can talk about friendship whole day, but at the end, this is not what you are looking for. You are not looking for friendship. Like, even if you had your best friend forever, this is not what you are looking for. Even when you find your best love, the most beautiful, most enjoyable person on the earth, it won't be enough for you. This is not what you are looking for. So as you said, as Faraz highlighted, that unless what you are interacting with, say it love, say it friendship, unless they take you somewhere else that satisfies your heart, then you are still lost, even if you are talking about friendship, which, you know, the beautiful word. Even if you are talking about love, that you are lost. Unless they take you somewhere, something that truly satisfies your heart. So I guess it's very tricky. So thank you for, you know, making this point clear, that it's really tricky. The life that we live, the life that we experience, even the sweetest things, even the things that we enjoy articulating, ice cream, love, friendship, they are source of pain. As far as it's saying, they do not prostrate you for you. Sometimes they are sworn enemy to you. I can like look at my life back, and I can see that all my life I was running for quote unquote happiness. I was running for appreciation from my friends. I was running for the best love. But what I end up with every time is pain. Because all these, all these bright, meaningful entities in my life, they end up being a sworn enemy for me that I have to stay away. Of course, I'm using this stay away in a, I don't know, like a strange way, because yes, I cannot stay away from friendship, but I have to stay away from the way I approach to friendship. So anyway, sorry for just wasting some more time.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Brother Berkan. That's really makes the case also clear with, how we started the discussion about existence and how I interact with creation around me. So questioning really the meaning behind the existence of the universe is the basis or the foundation to a worldview where, I feel satisfied in my existence and with the existence of everything around me, because it's very obvious and clear that nothing of this universe has the ability to bring any sort of feeling or satisfaction that the human being need into existence. So there must be an absolute will behind the creation of what I experience here. It's a beautiful setup, but I need to reflect more and do my homework. And I also don't want to put pressure about, oh man, I gotta do homework. No, like in terms of being more conscious of where is this meaning coming from, or where is this gift that I am presented with, who's really the owner and the sender of it. And that's the one that I should acknowledge and thank and be grateful for. And also, we need all of our interactions, like saying, everything. We need friends, companionship, love. We need to travel, everything, you name it. But it's really a matter of these are being means. So these are intercessors. Like the universe is an intercessor, a medium, helping me connect to the source of my existence. Because if it wasn't for these experiences, then I wouldn't know what can satisfy me in my existence. And really living with this awareness then becomes a very mashallah wonderful experience, and it's more joyful. Otherwise it's pain, separation, pain upon pain. And then also even interacting with things with meaning. So now we know that meaning is coming, but it's being brought into existence by a conscious will. So thanks for your comment. And I saw Brother Yusuf, your hand was up. Please go ahead.
Well, I understood, and Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for this beautiful presentation. So in terms of meaning, time to time, we talk about meaning in the horizontal level. What I mean by horizontal level is if I don't refer to an absolute source, whatever, I might get excited with just getting a promotion in my job, and just because I got promoted and that I'm going to earn more money, I might get excited and find it meaningful. And in my promotion speech, I would say to my bosses, oh, thank you for this very meaningful gift, sort of a thing. But as it had been said with the previous comments and during the presentation, So as long as there's death, then all those meanings which stay behind becomes futile, meaningless. So this is why it's not really meaning per se. But as the verses that, I mean, even this verse that is now in the screen, so the angels are being mentioned as either coming down from the heavens or within the heavens. So the meaning aspect that is being spoken about, I guess, as far as I understand now after this presentation, is if it connects me to this eternal source, if it takes me beyond death. And death is not a thing that happens once in a lifetime. Every moment of me is dying. Every moment I am dying. So I am in need of a meaning or a purpose or something that can cheer me up, as long as it establishes a connection between me and something beyond this death. Like, as I guess, all that little bit sounding heavy word, but like eternity or eternal being or absolute being. So I guess this is why talking about angels as meaning is if there's this sort of a connection. If this is why angels come from the heavens, this is why angels are always being mentioned with this other dimension of existence, which is beyond the material existence that in this day and age I might get very much stuck with. So, Jazakallah khair, thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Brother Yusuf. Absolutely, I agree that death is really the obvious reminder. No one can escape it. No one can deny it. And it almost puts things into perspective in terms of just deviating from this horizontal relationship that we mostly have with the universe, and then making it a more vertical connection. And yeah, things become more, what do you say, fulfilling, and even carry more value when it's connected with the absolute source of existence. And also, you were right, the angelic aspect of creation, even communicating with that, also bring more meaning or enlightenment to one's spirit, because it becomes like a really live book, not an aimless life book, but a life book with the absolute author communicating to you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for a wonderful session and discussion. We are now at the end of this third session, as well as today. Inshallah, we will continue tomorrow for our second day of the retreat at 10:30 promptly. And tomorrow's schedule will be as today's, with 3 sessions. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there as well, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.